Hello and welcome back to our channel. Today we bring you a piece of breaking news from a royal expert. Meghan Markle's SLY activity was painful on the eyes and ears of the public. There has been some SLY activity in the Sussex camp as it looks as if a major cleanup job is trying to take place. But as the world and lots of authorities are keeping tabs on the Sussexes, nothing will slip by. We've barely recovered from the faux garden chat that was painful on the eyes and ears, and Gloria Steinem didn't come away unscathed. Some of her fans were disappointed, while others were sad that she got Markled. But maybe we should give Steinem some credit. She couldn't turn Meghan Markle down because we know she is persistent. And Steinem needed to promote the movie on her that's due to be released in a few weeks. Both used each other. Meghan Markle to look as if she was pals with a feminist icon, and Steinem to promote her wares in her golden years. The end result was a shoddy video clip that looked too staged, awkward, and where Meghan Markle was trying too hard, again, to be something she's not. After 9 days, on the 28th of August, a film clip of Harry and Meghan sweating away at the baby-to-baby event at the Knox Elementary School was released, and it made for uncomfortable viewing in the time of COVID-19. If these were the best shots they had, I can see why it took a week to edit with the oh-so-apparently staged shots, while the duo played past the parcel and tried to look busy by passing a package through a car window. There were concerns over hygiene and COVID-19 guidelines, which didn't appear to be adhered to, as there was little social distancing, while Harry's mask kept slipping and his nose was visible, and the mask was also visibly damp from him talking too much. Then there were the staged shots of Harry and Meghan placing items into the backpacks of children, and a pathetic attempt to get Harry with a picture of a child that didn't have a clue what was going on, as Harry adjusted the straps on the backpack. Harry did a thumbs up and walked off looking fed up, hoping the photographer got the shot. You can't get good publicity shots with social distancing. The entire video clip looked messy, staged, and of course, the duo weren't needed as they breached hygiene protocols and touched the packages multiple times, while touching their faces and hair at the same time. We all know it was a photo op, just as they used to try and get the hug a kid photos, but it was a drive-through event. And can you even feel sorry for Harry, who shoved a parcel through a car window as it was driving off and nearly got dragged away? Is this what he considers work? Besides both looking hot and bothered, with sweat dripping off their faces, they seemed anxious, while the volunteers both looked relaxed and friendly. Maybe they realized getting the photos they wanted wasn't going to be that easy. They looked as if they were more of a hindrance than a help, and all for some desperate need to look like they're humanitarians. August 29th, 2020 was the 125th birthday of Rugby Football League, and Harry is still the patron, and so, of course, we had a Zoom call. I have no doubt Harry loves the game, but has Meghan Markle ever attended a game with him? Or does she even understand the game? Harry often went to games with his friends and his girlfriends because that's what normal people do, but I doubt Harry will ever enjoy those treasured moments again. In his audition tape, Harry decided to show off his interview skills, which were already better than Meghan Markle's. But I've seen 5-year-olds do a better job, and with more charm, of interviewing people than both of them put together. He tried to look like the casual lad that he used to be, joking here and there, but he looked ill and drained, and it showed. There was an anxiousness in his voice as he tried to sound on familiar ground with those featured, asking them all how they'd been doing with the COVID-19 situation. He even claimed that he would be back in the UK had it not been for COVID-19, yet we know that's a big lie. The conversations were stilted in places, but I sensed that Harry felt homesick, yet happy when he heard the friendly northern voices. Their down-to-earth banter covered up the tension that Harry so desperately tried to hide. Harry then goes on to give participants of the call a quiz on the Rugby Football League, and he admits that he would probably only gotten up to 3 correct answers, and he was one of the answers. It looked as if he was auditioning again, and some say he was copying William and Kate, who did similar quizzes and bingo during the national lockdown. His performance was adequate, but it was hardly rocket science reading out 6 questions that had been prepared for him. What is a Sussex Zoom call without some word salad? Harry saved his hand-waving act and buzzword spiel till the end with the usual community talk, and then he said he understood endurance because he'd been in the army. Is he so desperate to make out that he's been brave and strong, and that he truly understands what endurance is because he'd been in the army? To me, it looked like a cry to say, look, I've done things too, but no one seemed impressed. Nope, none of us are impressed that he managed to stay for 10 years, although many believe he would have been discharged after the Vegas saga. A further video clip shows Harry being questioned, and he tries to muster up some enthusiasm to say he loves living in America, with no friends at all, and makes a stupid comment saying that he's grateful for the little outdoor space compared to people in flats who don't have one. That was an attempt to look as if he was grateful, but this is how far removed he is from interacting with real people, because that simply was a slap in the face. How can he say he's got a little space in a huge mansion with so much land? He says he can't find any mini rugby balls, or maybe he just doesn't know what balls look like these days, having lost his own. He talks about the little man being number one and then looks into the distance and claims that either work, whatever that actually is their second priority to make the world a better place. At which point I'm sure most people would be screaming if they went to live on a remote island together. That would help save the world. The chat ends with Harry begging to be wanted, claiming he will support the Rugby Football League as long as he can give it to them, which doesn't inspire much faith. To top it all, his phone seemed to ring while the video was being filmed. While we're talking about Harry, I know many people have speculated that he returned to the UK to film this segment for the Netflix Paralympic documentary. But I imagine it was done much earlier, as due to COVID-19, the chances of filming would be low because of the high risk. From other clips I've seen, most of the interviews had taken place over a space of a year, and the last 6 months have been done editing. But the dates do tie in with another event. The source claimed they saw Harry around the 20th to the 21st of June, and that was a couple of days after the house purchased in Santa Barbara, which was on the 18th of June. Did Harry return to speak to his trustees to gain access to some additional funds, or seek assistance in order for him to obtain a mortgage? At the time, we didn't know about the house purchase, but it would make sense that he had to return in order to gain access to large sums of money. We can't forget the famous five, can we? Jessica Mulroney appears to have decided to plunge back into the world of social media after going dark since mid-June, after being dumped by her brands after her Sasha Exeter debacle. Several posters were happy to see her return, and she took that to mean the coast was clear, but it wasn't. She was foolish to believe the comments of a small handful of supporters meant all was well again, but her account is now locked and private. What happened? Meghan posted an image of her child at Meghan Markle's wedding on the 27th in August and gushed at how happy she was by looking at the photo. The caption was changed later on, then the image was taken down and her account locked. Clearly, she posted it for a reaction, but it appears she didn't get the response she wanted from a certain Californian. That ties in with the other strange CE file activities that for some reason I felt compelled to check this morning. The two lawsuits that Meghan Markle has pursued both had activity yesterday on Friday afternoon, which can mean something or nothing. Has Shillings been paid? Because that would be a reason to withdraw their services. Or perhaps Meghan Markle has decided to drop both claims, Associated Newspapers Limited and Splash. Activity late on a Friday afternoon just before a bank holiday smells fishy to me. Justice Warby has stated that if the case goes to trial, then the five friends will not have protection, and the only way they can ever remain anonymous in the UK is if she drops the case. The legal fees in the A&L case began February 2019 and the Splash one in March 2020, where there has been no activity on the latter until yesterday. The fees are probably in the region of at least £1.5 million by now, but has Meghan Markle paid her bill? Shillings will want to make sure that they get paid. The latter case on Splash is the case that Meghan Markle instigated, claiming that Archie's privacy had been breached when paparazzi took photos of Meghan Markle smiling at the camera with a baby carrier in Canada. But that case had seen no official activity at all and was last updated in early July. Compare Meghan Markle's cases with Harry's cases that are handled by different lawyers. But is there a cash flow problem? As it appears that the Sussexes couldn't really afford their new home. They say the lawsuits are being privately funded, but Charles may have agreed to support them financially. However, that doesn't mean he will pay the legal fees of a willy-nilly case, especially when it's completely unnecessary. On a final note, as the anniversary of Diana's death approaches, we know there will be some stunt pulled. But is Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs, aka the taxman, clearing up Harry's mess for the sake of the Queen? If so, then why should he get off for any wrongdoings? If the IRS are involved, they won't care who his granny is. But there are hushed tones in the corridors of Her Majesty's Revenue and Customs. And if Travelist isn't being investigated, then it should be, as it's clearly being used as a Sussex PR office. With so many leaks regarding the foundation and court documents, it could only have come from Holt and Wong. The question is, why isn't Buckingham Palace doing anything to salvage their reputation? How about you? What do you think of Meghan Markle's sly activity? Please let us know in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and share with your own followers. And as always, subscribe to our channel for all the latest news on the royal family, Meghan Markle and Prince Harry right here. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.
Recently, Harry Markle blog has condemned us for taking the content of their articles for the content of the video that we send to you. We are very sorry about that, and will learn from the next experience that we will quote the source of harrymarkle.wordpress.com. In addition, we also apologize to the author publicly for this. However, as quoted by the author on the disclaimer, we are entitled to quote verbatim. Any reproduction of content, with or without acknowledgement, is not intended as copyright infringement, but is used under the fair use doctrine, intended to allow news and information to be shared and discussed in the public interest. Saving the monarchy from being humiliated any further and the UK taxpayers from unnecessary financial burdens is in the public interest. Thank you very much for your support, and once again, thank you blog's author for giving us the content to create this video.